בכ"ט עמוד ב' תשפס, שיטת רבנו תם. Everybody did, רבנו חננאל is fine, right? So רבנו תם, ואומר רבנו תם גרס the דיירנה בי, meaning that we live there 3 שנים. So רבנו תם גרס in the words of מר זוטרה, אומר מר זוטרה, ויתן ואמר לי תותרי שדה להסודלי, דדיירנה בית לצ'ני, ביממו ולילה, טענתה טענה. So we read not the darbe that he lived there, we read it the Dairana Bay. So he asked to bring witnesses for himself that he lived there 3 years, טענתה טענה. So let's explain the pshat in Tosfot. Let's see what Tosfot learned. הוא פירש, דאביי ורובה תרוויו סבירה לו, תן צריך להביא עדים על הימים ועל הלילות. Both Abaye and Rove don't hold that b'chad you need עדים על הימים ועל הלילות. It's not an issue. ורove is the one who's a hold. Rove לא אמר ביממו ולילה. When Rove said that you need day and night, he didn't say day and night, אלא להוציא המקשה מסברתו. Very interesting description, you know? מה ששאלת יגאל, להוציא את המקשה, take out the מקשה from his סברה. Which סברה are you taking him out from, you know? It seems that he agreed with the מקשה. I mean, on the simple words of Rabbe, he needs him day and night. So where do you see is מוציא מקשה מסברתו? Okay, weiter. ולא לפלוגי אביי, he's not arguing on Abaye, even though his word seems to argue. It's just להוציא המקשה מסברתו. Okay. וכאמר מר זוטרה, let's see what מר זוטרה said.
Can we ask a question on this?
Let me just go through and then. אם אמר, says מר זוטרה, אם אמר העידו נסתם, שדרתי ג' שנים בחזקת, I'm emphasizing this word, ימים ולילות, if he said, just give me עדות סתם, that I live there 3 years בחזקת, interesting word, ימים ולילות, אף על פי שלא ראו ממש כל הימים והלילות, even though they didn't see ממש all day and night, אלא שבחזקת כן מחזיקים אותו. ומחזיקים אותו, he looks like that. שהיהו נכנסים פעמים ביום ופעמים בלילה. They used to go inside sometime during the day, sometime during the night. היו רואים אותו בביתו. They used to see him in his house. If that's the case, טענתה טענה. It's a good טענה. So, ואבל אלמי מרדותן עדות, it shouldn't say the word טענתו, it's not a טענה. It should have say, if he asked, that's considered a good, just אלא, אגב דתיים ברשת דמילתא היא תיים, since at the beginning he used the word אם הוא טוען, he conclude also, אגב, אומר נמי טענתי טענה, he also used the word טענתי טענה. So the simple words of Rabenu Tam are, that the Rabenu Tam explained, if he asked witnesses to testify that he lived there 3 years bechezkat yamim velelot, with the chazakah that he lived there day and night, it's a good ta'ana. Although they don't testify exactly for day and night, as long as they saw him going in and out, it's enough for ta'ana. This is Rabenu Tam. Now he said, by the way, and he said why we use the word ta'anato ta'ana, it's really supposed to say dutan edut. That's a good edut. Just we started off v'ita'an ve'amar, so therefore we use the terminology of ta'anato ta'ana instead of edutan edut. Now he says, umoy derove, v'uadin mar Zutra ve'abaye, ברוכלים המחזרים בעיירות, if the peddlers, אף על גב דלא טען, טענין עלי, even though it's not טען, טענין עלי, why? אין צריכים להעיד שראו ממש. They don't need to testify the ממש saw it. שהרי הם מחזרים בעיירות, they're going around the cities, והם יכולים להעיד על הראייה, they cannot testify on the proof that he was there day and night. rather, אלא יעידו, שבחזקתו היה זה הבית 3 שנים, ימים excuse me, velelot. Rather, he needs to testify that yes, chazaka, that the house was there, 3 shanim, day and night. Interesting, very interesting. Basically, if everybody agreed over here that rochlim, you don't need to say anything. So the witnesses are the rochlim. In a case that the witnesses are the rochlim.
What? Not the
witnesses.
You're just talking about witnesses?
כן. So says Rabenu Tam, if the witnesses are rochlim המחזרים בעיירות, and the rochlim המחזרים בעיירות and the witnesses, they don't see the night, they cannot testify ראיה, interesting word, they cannot testify that this is what happened. Nevertheless, it's fine, they can be made בחזקת, הבית היה בחזקתו, ג' שנים ימים ולילות. It's just, even though they didn't see it, they can testify that he has a chadaka 3 years ימים ולילות. So this is simple words of Rabenu Tam, and I think needs a lot of explanation. Ami has a shiur on it. Ami seems to have no questions on it. So Ami is going to give us a shiur, B'ezrat Hashem. Okay. So the question number one, that's a basic question. If you say at the end that you don't need ta'ana from them berochlim, why must Zutra require them ta'ana, let them testify בחזקת ימים ולילות, although they didn't see it should be enough. If rochlim המחזרים בעיירות, they don't need a ta'ana, he doesn't need to say anything. Chachamim will interpret the words as if he was there day and night and he has chazaka. Why would Mazutra require in a regular case of edim that he should be to'en? Ita'in ve'amar, then ta'anate ta'ana. It seems that without his ta'ana, it's not going to be ta'ana.
Who's ita'in?
The machzik.
The says that I have witnesses that were there, but they don't know that I was there every single second.
Exactly.
Then
ta'anate ta'ana, we can still rely on them. It's fine. Even though they saw him in and out all day, they didn't see specific days, it's fine, ta'anate ta'ana. Now, but everybody agreed, if זורחים המחזרים בעיירות, הכל בסדר. You don't need to say anything. We ta'anin, we do ta'ana for him. It's exactly the opposite. אם ברוכלים, כן.
You're saying the itain is the machzik. What is his ta'ana? What's the machzik's ta'ana here?
Marzutra said itain, if the machzik is to'en, I want to live there for...
I lived there for 3 years.
The machzik to'en, let me bring those witnesses who can testify that I was there general day and night, and that should be sufficient enough for chazakah. Although they didn't see him every day, if he requested, ta'anate ta'ana, I mean, it's a good adut. We'll receive it and it will be a good adut.
So you're saying that if he's requesting to have deans that are mistama,
כן.
that's a good enough adut. But he has to be to'en for that. If not, then he would have to bring every single day.
Exactly. Without them to'en that is good, it wouldn't be good.
That's kiddush.
And that's a shaila. If rochlim המחזרים בעיירות are okay.
For him, without a ta'ana.
Without a ta'ana, Beit Din will be to'en for him, which is very weak edut rochlim המחזרים בעיירות. He said, I had no friends. This is the only people I know. I'm sorry. Okay, Chachamim said that. This is what you know. Oh, we're so sorry. We accept, and that we consider it as an edut. Baruch Menachem, Shkoyach.
When we go by the when we go by the behavior of the, like in this case, we said yesterday, we go by the behavior of the act of the person, meaning the act, the rochel, there's no more way is not to be there for a while. That's why it would be okay in the case of the rochel.
But regular person also is another way to be there all day. Nobody in my house all day. They see me live there.
You're most likely in your home all day.
No, but again, this is the edim. Marzuta talks about if the edim come and they said he was there in general day and night, we don't know details, and he claim I want to use it as a full edut, he can claim for it.
But the edim know that the person's there most likely day and night because it's his home.
So that's what I'm asking. If the edim you need ta'ana, kol sheken that for the rochlim you're going to need ta'ana.
I see, okay.
No, but you work with what you have.
Okay, but I have no problem. But if you need ta'ana for the edim, how come you need ta'ana for the rochlim? You don't need ta'ana for the rochlim? Okay, work what you have. So why do you need? If you work what you have with the rochlim, why do you need bechal to have ta'ana with the edim?
It's much more intense. It's a much more intense case.
If you have edim day and night, you need a ta'ana. If I have edim that they didn't know much, you don't need ta'ana.
Again, we're not talking about the Mufzak or the Ma'al, we're talking about the witnesses. If the witnesses are peddlers, we'll be like, you know what, okay, then your half testimony
לפה,
can be
ככה, לב
okay.
לעמוד פה.
Why
This
only
way,
if
this
the
way, this way,
witnesses
this
are
way.
peddlers, or we're like, okay, half
Huh?
testimony is good, but if
זה לא עובד פה
my
ביוטיוב הזה.
witnesses are not peddlers,
Shem
then
Yerachim.
I have to actually claim that.
So,
I like being on the recording.
yeah, good. Somebody told me, who was it? He heard me in the recording by the Rashiva's Shir, you know? Rashiva told me, my son maybe heard me or something. And the Rashiva, I get regards. Gil, give me regards. He heard me in the Shir.
The witnesses are not, we're not talking about renters here.
No renters, בכלל, nothing. Okay. Now, also, the way Mar Zutra started off his word, Mar Zutra, let's see the words of Tosfot. Mar Zutra, אם אמר העדינו סתם, what סתם? שגרתי ג' שנים, בחזקת ימים ולילות.
That's his Tanakh.
So, in a way, I think it's contradicting itself. תעידו לי סתם, בחזקת. What do you need the בחזקת בכלל? העידו לי סתם שגרתי ימים ולילות. That's enough to say that he was there the whole time. מה זה העידו לי סתם בחזקת ימים ולילות?
That's what he said at the end. E-time. For the E-time.
The word. He said, Rabenu Mar Zutra, והיא עדיין ואמר העידו לי סתם.
He has to make that Tanakh.
No, but what do we need to say בחזקת ימים ולילות? העידו לי סתם.
No, the stam.
העידוני שהייתי שם ימים ולילות. What is בחזקת ימים ולילות?
The Iduni stam is what brings you the night and day, the connection.
But you don't need to. But they don't need to testify בחזקת. They just need to testify that I was there day and night with their ability to see.
It's after the fact that Abai and Rava is not
What are
cholek.
they making what are they being adim for?
Yeah, I was there day and night, according to their understanding.
I had a chazakah.
No, they don't need chazakah. Chazakah bidding will derive from it the chazakah. They may eat it. I was there just day and night.
She's saying it's like a type of chazakah.
לא מובן, כן.
What
It is
other
after
type of
the-
chazakah is?
Huh?
What other type of chazakah is?
That's my job now. To begin
It's after the fact that we found out that Abai and Rava is not disagreeing, that Rava really there's a different reason why he said Gam Lelot.
Right.
Only then you can say Becheskat.
Okay. Exactly. That's the pshat, yeah.
Can you explain it?
That's what I'm.
What's bothering you with Mazik?
By the way, this question בחזקת is a question of the חידושי הרים. I saw it in the Ohel Torah, but I looked in the חידושי הרים, I couldn't find it. It doesn't talk about Tosfot, so probably somewhere else. So, חידושי הרים, that's the Rebbe Migur. Rebbe Alter, what's his last name? So he asked, why do we need to say העידון סתם בחזקת? We don't say בחזקת. If he said העידון סתם, שגרתי ימים ולילות, it's a good עדות, תיגר ימים ולילות. מה זה העידון סתם בחזקת ימים ולילות?
It's saying that for you testifying 1 hour of the day, we can't assume the rest of the day that you can have an issue.
But the assumption is not on them, the assumption is on Beis Din. Beis Din assumes with their information to convert it into chazakah. It's not the edim.
I read it, I put a comma there.
סתם גרתי שם.
No?
אמר העידוני סתם שגרתי ג' שנים, כמה? בחזקת ימים ולילות. It's a חזקה that there's...
No, that's the way you read it's part of the edut. It's part of the
I was
edut.
bothered with that.
That's where they come. That's a good way to resolve problems.
No, he asked me, you probably read it.
Huh? But the comma before בחזקת? No, I think בחזקת ימים ולילות is part of it. Then, because אם אמר העידון סתם בחזקת ימים ולילות, אף על פי שלא ראו, it's still okay.
אלה שבחזקת, כל מחזיקים אותו שכל שנה...
לא, אבל זה לא, זה doesn't flow. מאמר העידון ניסן שדרתי ג' שנים, if you're going to do the comma here, בחזקת ימים ולילות, אלא אף על פי שלא ראו, זה לא, בחזקת ימים ולילות אף על פי שלא ראו.
Even though they didn't actually see.
Okay, אני שומע, but I think it's smoother to read. I said that you quetch it, but it's smoother to read it like that. So, I'm working on it. and I think I have the pshat. If I don't say it right, forgive me, but let's try to build it. So באמת, the question over here, the introduction of the way Yigal asked, introduction of Tosfot. By the way, Abaye kam leotzi misvarato. Abaye says, Rov is not arguing on Abaye, which he seems to argue. Abaye said it's enough to have days, it means night. And Rov kam, no, not arguing on Abaye, leotzi misvarato shel makshe. If you read the words of Rov, they seem very clear. It's an answer to the makshe, right? You need day and night. We have day and night. We have neighbors. So the build-up that Rabenu Tam learns that you agree with Abaye, you just come lotzim mizrato shel makshe. Where do you see it? So think the following. Ravuna require, go back to stage 1. Ravuna said that it cannot be mefuzarot, it's got to be retzufot. Ready Gemoret, nan, we ask Shaile, chezkat habatim. The Makshan understand that chezkat habatim means that if you don't have a dud for the night, you're missing the chazakah for the guy to earn 3 shanim. And therefore he says, according to Ravuna, it's considered as mefuzarot, as you're missing the days of the chazakah. Kam Abaye says, no, it's not a problem. You know why? You don't need a dud for the night. What gives you a dud for the night? The day. Meaning he's telling the makshe, you're wrong on your assumption. Abaye, you said, I need a dud for the night. Abaye says, no, a dud for the day is good enough because the one who testifies on the day will testify on the night. Comes Rove, says, no, don't worry, we have a solution. Shiveve. I'm not Shiveve. Renters, according to Rave, the renters are the one who testify that they were there day and night. So it seems to have, like, we have a clear testimony day and night. Maybe like that. Bemet.
So are you saying he's arguing or not?
It seems to argue. I need the the renters will testify day and night, נכון? But Rabenu Tam says, הוא בא להוציא משבראתו של המקשה. So I was thinking like that. If you have people who lived in your house, and you demand them to pay rent, can they say, I'm sorry, we rented to live there. We live there only during the day. We didn't live there at night. Give me 50% refund.
No.
Amalo.
When you take a place like that,
Huh?
Who rents a place just for the day? Who rents a place just for the day?
If they have a tana, look, we use it only during the day. We never use it at night. Can they have such a tana and request a refund?
No.
Why not?
It's not
Can't go to the
realistic.
hotel and buy and pay for
Huh?
sleep there for the night and only pay. Oh, I didn't sleep there actually. I went back home. I just got in a room at the hotel for no reason.
When you rent out a house, if you rent out for the day, it means what?
Whole day.
If you rent out for the days, it means what? Night. Which means, Rove proves to the makshe that your premise is wrong. להוציא את המקשה מסברתו. You look on the day as a separate time than the night. And therefore you're asking, if you have a dim on the day, let's have a dim for the night. Says Rove, no, it's the same thing. When a tenant lives in the house, they said we were there day and night. נכון? Do you have actually days and nights separate by a tenant? No. And a tenant there for the day means he was there for the night. If a tenant says I live there, what's conclude in his words? I'm there day and night together. So night is never separated from the day. So he's telling him, says Rove to the makshe, your assumption is that the night are separated from the day, and therefore you have a question. You're missing the night. The night says the answer. The sort of Rove, nights and the days are the same entity. If you have day, by default you have night. The difference between Abaye and Rove is the following. Abaye acknowledged the question. Yes, we have a problem with the night, and he addressed it by saying, no, the neighbors who testify for the day also testifying on the night. Rove is saying, no, it's not a question to begin with, because if you have a dud for somebody who lived in the house, if somebody says, I live there, it means what? Day and night. Any dud of somebody who live in a house, it means all together. That we said, when tenants testify that they live there, they say, by the way, we live there day and night. They don't need to say they live there day and night. Living in a place means day and night, day and night. So you're asking, no, you don't have to do it at night? No. Living on a place means day and night. Not only day and night. It's really bad. Living on a place means I live it like regular people. Regular people means day and night. So that means day and night. Any problem you're going to have, as long as comply with the regular people behavior, that's including day and night. Now, that's why Rove says, Lotzi tamakshe misvarato. You had a svara that the day it's separated from the night, and your question is, where is the night? The answer is, there is no day, there is no night. It's all one piece. You live there. Living in a place means everything together. Therefore, Kama Zutra, he said, V'itain v'amar li Zutra sadei, and they should testify to me, for me, ta'anatei ta'ana. These witnesses, what's going on with them? They don't testify every day, and they don't testify every night. What do they testify, those witnesses? General concept. They were there in general for day and night. Is that considered as a regular behavior?
Can you say that one more time?
The witnesses who testify, the way Rabenu Tam learns, right? They don't testify specifically every day and every night. What do they testify?
The whole thing.
No. Some days, some nights.
Whenever they were there.
Huh? Whenever we saw you in and out, whenever you were there. I can understand why tenants, when you have a tenant that testifies they live there, it's all inclusive day and night, because that means acting as a tenant means what? What if you hear a tenant means what? Somebody who live there day and night. Rav Zutra mechadesh that even if you don't have re'aya that he was there day and night, if there will be there is a way to convert the redut for day and night into regular behavior. How? If he asks the witnesses, what you testifying for me, it means bechezkat yamin velelot. If we see the witnesses, it's not enough for us that he said was regular behavior. If he says, by the way, what they testify, this is my regular behavior of yamin velelot, then there will be a dim. Rabenu Tam require him. He has to say, those witnesses, the words,
חזקת ימים ולילות.
וכלומר, זאת אם אמר, העידו נסתם, מה זה העידו נסתם שגרתי ג' שנים? בחזקת ימים ולילות. I want to take your redut and to convert it into a chazaka of yamim velelot, then it will be a dut.
How can he tell them what to be?
He need to convert their pieces into a chazaka. They just saying general days and night. Is that enough for chazaka? Shouldn't be enough. Only if we claim it that that's considered as a chazaka, now we can rely on him to consider it a chazaka.
But they're not being biased by listening to him specifically?
No, this is a dim. This is a dim. This is a dim. No bias. They have no interest to testify for him.
He's telling them how to testify for him.
This is how, yeah, it's okay.
I could tell you how
He want to
testify.
treat, he said, he tying to Beis Din, not after the dim. He's not changing the fact. He said, I want to take their facts that I was in and out as if I am a regular behavior. That's considered as regular behaving, and therefore Beis Din treat it as a chazakah. Then it's a good ta'ana, it's a good point.
And that's different for every person?
What?
It's different for every person.
Wait, which means if I didn't ask for it, if you just testify for me, let's say, I saw him here and out, going in and out, that's not enough to earn a chazakah. What chazakah means? I live there day and night, meaning I live there, I act. But if I claim I live, and I'm using you as a proof that I live, that I did a chazakah, that will be considered as a chazakah. But unless I demand that to happen, we have pieces. Pieces are not enough to create a chazakah with.
So they're explaining his normal behavior.
Only if he classify it, he needs to classify as normal behavior, and then they will take it as normal behavior. So again, say they saw.
No, they have to.
He needs to
testify for it,
claim.
that's his
No,
classified
they
behavior.
testify. He was there in general. General, we saw him in and out. Is that enough for chazakah?
that they have to testify that this is...
No. He needs to treat. He said, I want them to testify, and that will be for me a chazakah. They have no right to define what their edut means.
No, they're defining what that his normal behavior is actually like what he's saying. He says that sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm out in and out of the house all the time. So now these are edim are testifying for that. So basically on the cheskat yemi velelot.
But the cheskat, they have no right. The edim are not interpreters. Edim are facts. They're reporting facts. I had a check stolen from my house. So the guy came, sheriff, big guy, he took the report, יפה? I asked him, is that happened that people steal stuff in the mail over here? He said, yes, every day I have those blacks complaints. So I'm like, what do you do about it? He says, no, I'm the reporter. That's a detective job. Yeah, exactly. Witnesses are reporters. They don't interpret. The ladies cannot be edim because they interpret what they saw.
What they feel.
Men, right, they're feeling into the interpretation. Men is a fact information. Just what happened, this is what you're going to give me. So it's not up to the edim bichlal. So if he takes the edim and he treats himself as a chazakah, that shows that he really was there every day and night. But if he doesn't claim that, maybe he really weren't there every day and night. Maybe he didn't act normally. Therefore, it's not going to be a chazakah.
Can you explain the process? Let's say, okay, this guy goes into Beit Din. Now what happens?
So the guy goes into Beit Din, come witnesses said, he was there in general day and night. I'm sorry, rabbis, this is my chazakah. I was there. They testify really in and out. They testify every time that I was there. On such a case, it's a chazakah. כן, רבי ישראל. אמרה, אתה בעניין בקטע פה? לקלוט. Okay, so let's start from scratch, then we can get it out. So Rabenu Tam holds from the beginning of the sugya, a rabbi was mechadesh, that a chazakah means you live there normally, I don't need details day and night. What's the proof? The tenants, the sochrim, will prove that when they said you were there, that means day and night. So any regular behavior include day and night. You don't need the specific information for day and night. So the Yesod of Rava, at this point, that there is no detail required for day and night. Just a fact that I live there normally, that's what's going to give me the chazakah. Kamar Zutra, and he said, I have a case that you're going to give me the chazakah. What's the case? Zutra says, Maruta says, V'itain ve'amar, he said, therefore, since it's all about the chazakah, it's not about the details, even if the team didn't give the full details, as long as I claim it, I treat it as a full chazakah, then it's emergency, then... כמובן, אבל כאן צריכים ממני כמה דקות?
כן.
אוקיי, 12 בסדר. So therefore it says Rava, it says Zutra, if the Eidim just testify pieces, and I show that I treat it as a chazakah, my approach to it as a chazakah will convert this edut into a regular behavior. You need to say that is chazakah. That's the only sort of Rabenu Tam. Now, but
Why do you
because pieces of information is not enough for chazakah. Chazakah means regular behavior. If you translate,
What's regular behavior mean?
The Adam can't decide what the regular behavior is.
they cannot decide. They have no right. He needs to claim what they saw. This is my regular behavior. They saw the way I'm regular in and out. Then it will be a chazakah. But if he didn't claim it, we have pieces of information. It's not enough for chazakah.
He's proving their edut.
Is using the redut
As
a proof for my chazakah. That's why he must claim the chazakah through them. Now it says Marzutre, Umayde Marzutre, Roven Abaye. ברוכלים המחזרים בעיירות, this is our קשיה, נכון? רוכלים המחזרים בעיירות, דאף אגב דלא תאין, תענין עלי. למה? We just said, so why תענין עלי? You also have pieces of information, huh?
Din is stepping in for him. Din is stepping in.
Why do they need to step in for him?
We're looking at the normal behavior of Ocher is not there.
Yeah, okay, but why do we need to step in for him? On a regular edim, he needs to use them as a chazakah, נכון? He said, what they saw, that's a chazakah. By rochlim, He doesn't need to say this is my chazakah. Beit Din will say for him. Why?
Because anyways, in the first part, what we said is פעמים רואים אותו, לפעמים פה ופה.
Yeah.
עכשיו זה אפילו לא פעם, זה פעם
So that's why it's a harder question.
No, that's why they would testify for him.
Why?
Because
Almost. You're almost there.
He has nothing.
Huh?
Less. There's nothing.
So why do we need to testify for him?
You have to give him something. He has nothing.
But
There's no claim. There's no connection over here.
But if on a regular case where they were mainly, they saw him a lot, he needs his ta'ana. Why in such a case I don't need his ta'ana? We take it as is, as if it's a chazakah. Here they saw much less. So why, if they saw a lot, we need his ta'ana to convert it into chazakah? Why when they saw little, we don't need his ta'ana to convert it into chazakah?
even if in the first case they barely see him, and that works, נכון? כל שכן over here.
That's a question, you're not answering.
Huh?
That's a question that we ask.
And כל שכן over here.
Over there you need him to say that he's chazakah. By Rochlim he doesn't need to say. We're going to grant it for him without saying.
Right, because the Rochlin are saying themselves, we're barely there.
Okay, so how can you use it?
We're barely there, but when we are there, we always see him. So
Okay,
when,
but
when
it's
there's
much
a little
less than the
amount of
previous
time,
one. No, but
if
Shlomo,
we
it's
see
much
him a little
less.
amount of time,
But that we
he's still
agree.
there,
You
that's
agree?
good.
No, but if it's much less, how is that going to be acceptable?
Huh?
It's much less than the previous case. On a regular case that they see him a lot, you need a ta'ana. By Rochlim, they see him much less. You don't need a ta'ana? We're going to be to'en for him?
Because in a regular case where you see him, if in a regular case you see him sometimes, or you see him all the time, like he goes in and out all the time, then in a case when they're barely there and they still see him, then that's a bigger proof.
No, it's not raya. No. They just saw him here and there. It's not enough. Rabbi Yaakov, what do you think?
Rabbi, he doesn't have an opportunity to be to'en.
So I was thinking, why?
He doesn't have an opportunity to be to'en. Like, he's not there.
So why should we be more miserable if he doesn't have all, if he's not up to par?
It's not his fault.
fair,
It's not his
Give the
fault
guy an
that his
opportunity.
witnesses
Give
are
the
in
guy
and
an
out.
opportunity.
Okay.
It's not his fault that his witnesses are in and out. He's still in the
You almost there. I just want to sharpen. Let me just say. I think the pshat is like that.
There's a punchline.
By a regular case, why only his chazakah will convert it? Why only if he claim that will be a chazakah? Because they saw him on basically in and out. In order for him to convert it into chazakah, he needs to claim the chazakah. Why it's crucial? Because what's the reason that I consider it as if you were there day and night? The sort of rava is, even though we have no details, as if you were there day and night. Because we treat it, this is how you act, this is your normal behavior, and chazakah goes by normal behavior of people, and this is how you define your normal, we got to go along with it. So if you see them testing you, this is the first case, yeah? If you see them testifying basics, in general you were there, unless you treat it as a chazakah, it's not going to be a chazakah. Why? From the fact that you didn't say it's chazakah, that shows that it's not your regular behavior. When it will be considered the regular behavior for you,
When you say that, that's
only when you said this is my regular behavior. Nachon?
Yeah.
Oh, but he said
Now, that works only. So there are two portions. We treat it as, when it's going to be treated as regular behavior, why?
When I say
When you say, if you didn't say, it's a proof that
it's not your
regular behavior. Now, by Rochlim HaMechazrim Ba'ayarot, if he didn't say that it's not his regular, that it's regular behavior, is that a proof? If he didn't say, by Rochlim HaMechazrim Ba'ayarot, if he didn't say, I want it to be chazakah for me, is that the proof that he's not an owner? Is not his regular behavior?
You should have said.
By Rochlim HaMechazrim Ba'ayarot. If he didn't say, and he didn't say, this is my chazakah, the machzik, if he didn't say, this is my chazakah, is that a proof that it's not his regular behavior?
Yes. Trying to get the car.
No. So the answer is no. Why? Because when it's a proof that is not a regular behavior. If he have basic edut, and he doesn't use it as a regular behavior, that shows, okay, something is wrong over here. This is not a regular behavior. But on a case of the הרוכלים המחזרים בעיירות, he doesn't think that that can be treated as his regular behavior.
Why doesn't he think that?
Because you see, they're barely here. They were barely over here. How can I treat it my regular behavior?
So because there's such a lack of details, we're gonna.
We cannot expect him to treat it as regular behavior.
Why are we being so makeup for him?
Because the only reason that is considered,
and if he does,
the only reason that when you didn't say anything is not regular behavior, when you have clear facts on the table, people say you in and out. If you don't treat it, if you yourself don't say this is my regular behavior, that's a proof that it's not. But here, but the point is, if you don't treat their edut as your regular behavior, that's a proof that this is not your regular. By Rochlim, he's not going to treat it because he thinks that cannot be sufficient for me for my regular behavior. They were barely over here. Therefore, Chachamim toanin lo, don't worry, this is a regular behavior. That's normal. That's why you're going to have a chazakah.
And if he does think that, then they would say, "Oh, you're trying to hide something."
If you don't think what?
If he does come and say, "Oh yeah, this is my regular behavior,"
that's kol shekin, that should be okay. But the chidush is when I need him to say, when I needed to say this is my regular behavior only when he has the fact and he's not using them. But if he doesn't have the fact, you cannot expect him to say this is my regular behavior. So the fact that he didn't say is not a proof that he's not an owner. Therefore, ilotai tanin aleh, we are to end for him.
So what's his tana?
Ken.
So he's acting normal.
Yeah, but he doesn't think that he can treat them as is normal.
The witnesses.
Yeah, because they were barely here. How can I use that to prove my chazakah? This guy come to town every 3 months. Is that considered chazakah for me?
But what?
Why is he bringing them then? He obviously believes that he's normal.
Yeah, but to treat it fully as a chazakah for him, he doesn't have the guts to say, okay, this is my full chazakah. You need to be able to claim it, to claim a chazakah. This is the only witnesses I have.
That's what he has.
Ken, he bring what he has.
What's his actual normal derech, though?
No, in normal derech is to...
For this guy specifically.
No, it's not, he was there, but he doesn't think that the fact that they just saw him once every 3 months will be sufficient enough to consider his regular
They're
derech.
actually there once every few months.
No, that's why we come into the picture. Very good. That's why we come into the picture and said, oh, that's normal, you're okay.
But where I was caught is because if he actually has a normal derech that he's like barely there. So
Yeah, that's for
he
sure.
can't lie and say,
Correct. If he was normal, he doesn't know how to treat them as normal. Correct. So we good? So let's repeat, summarize it. רבי, אתה בסדר? ראיתי איזה מצוקה בפנים שלך על הפשט. אוקיי. אתה בסדר? We say, why it's enough? Yeah, let me see what's going to be.
Wait, so what's his tana? His tana is that this is my normal behavior to be in and out of my house.
Right.
That's his tana?
Yeah. I'm using my normal behavior, yes. On such a case, he needs to claim it as a tana.
And you would think the Uchmin would not be good enough because they're barely there.
Correct.
But
that's why he wouldn't claim it as a tana, but Chachamim treat it because we don't need full exut. We need a regular behavior on a place. So...
But I don't understand
Why
would Chachamim be claiming for him when he doesn't speak and he's not acting?
Because
He's not acting like he's not an owner by not speaking up. He's not showing that he doesn't want it to be connected. He doesn't think it's going to work, so he's not going to try.
Okay, so
When you know something and you don't connect it together, that's showing that you almost don't want it to be connected. Right? Is that the idea?
Perfect. If you have a ability to prove yourself and you don't use it, that's a proof something is wrong with you. But if you don't think about that, we have to tell you, by the way, this is okay to use as a wrong behavior.
You have a document of that you own a house and you don't show it to the person.
I'll repeat it and then we can ask questions. So, Maskone, Rabbi Yisrael, just to summarize. So, באמת, Rabenu Tam explained that when the Gemara asked, Nan, Chizkat Abatim Gimel Shanim, when the Gemara says Chizkas Abotim, they are given for 3 years, the Gemara assumed that because they makshe, because you're missing the night, you're missing the chazakah. Abai answered them, don't worry, day it means also night. Rava told him, no, it's not a problem to begin with. Just like tenants who testify that they were there, it means also day and night as a regular behavior, so to regular chazakah means regular behavior of every time. The details day and night are not relevant anymore. Kamar Zutra, and he says, if he didn't have specific edim for 3 years of every day and night, he had a general edim, they saw him in and out, if he treated as a chazakah, if he claimed that to be treated as a chazakah, then it will be a chazakah. But if he doesn't claim that's my chazakah, that's already a red line that you weren't there, because he sees that he's not using it, he knows that he's missing information, that's why he's not using it. אבל if they are רוכלים חסרים ביערות, we don't expect it to demand chazakah out of them, they were barely here. But as Beis we do treat it as a chazakah. Lama? Because a regular behavior, we saw you once in a while in and out, is also considered as a regular behavior. Therefore, over there, even if you didn't claim it to be chazakah, ta'anin alei.
Who's bringing these witnesses?
Huh?
Who's bringing these Rochanim? Because the first of them,
He brings it.